Hello everybody. Today I'm going to do a new series again called My Made Up Stories, which will be about made up stories. And you will like this one because you like this series. I know you might like it. Today we're going to make up a story about Joyce and Jane try to stop Alvin and the goanimate staff. So let's get this started, okay? Once upon a time, there was Lily Time, and the fine time, Joyce, with all those two girls, Joyce and Jane. Joyce and Jane are two of the girls, and all of them. One, of course. And one of them, Jane, with one of her when Joyce was there, she's talked to Jane. Hey, what are we gonna do about what should we do to convince the goanimate staff to bring stuff back? And she said, let me think about that. And she said, okay, we'll go to the headquarters or something, or we could write a letter. Well, there she writes a letter. She's like, well, maybe we could go to the headquarters because it's more faster. Maybe we could use a teleporting machine. Maybe we could use a jet. Joyce said, we can build a jet. Let's build our jet. Let's build our jet. So, what's up? They build their jets. Make sure they don't destroy the house. And they think of plans to go stop the staff and have a little brief discussion. Maybe a meeting. Therefore, they had to tell them what they think and about what they should do and improve. Well, upon arriving at the goanimate headquarters, two of the people, Joyce and Jane, all sat up there, wondering what they would try to tell to them, because, as they probably never known, they probably haven't even been there in the first time. As we know, they're just past in the headquarters, getting ready to go inside to have a chat with the staff. Well, oh wow, they say. Well, we'll go in and stop those people, and we'll like it. And then comes Alvin, the CEO of goanimate. What are you two doing here? Aren't you supposed to be with yourself? And then they say, well, we'll talk to him. Then Alvin says, well, what do you want to talk to us about today? We said, well, we need to have a discussion with you and your staff. He said, okay, I'll have my staff come up right here, and then all of a sudden they got talking to the staff. Then, all of a sudden, they have all the staff come up. And they say, hold up, you two. Now, what's wrong with you? They said you almost took everything, almost half the stuff down, and you didn't even do it. Plus, have you even watched people's petitions? They've made bunches of petitions for you, so you could receive those petitions. Oh, yes, sir, we've seen those petitions on the website. As Alvin said. And then they said, have you seen them? I hope so. And they said, well, we need to say something. Look, we're gonna have, I need you to bring all the staff and get those things back where they belong. We're gonna save this stuff once for all. Don't you worry, guys. So, they're thinking of stuff. And they said, look, I know for the most part, the license will expire on them. And if you have to have something like that, well, I hope you could bring them back on there. Because we all like them. I will promise you that. And one time, we will have you to do this. And we want you to understand how important with us and all the community. And so, as on, they both had a chat. They said, oh, we can't do that because it's incompatible with HTML5. He's like, I don't give a crap. And he said, if you don't do it, I'm going to summon the Army of Fox logos. They said, what is the Army of Fox logos? He said, I don't think you want to... Joyce and Jane said, I don't think you want to know what the Army of Fox logos are. As a matter of fact, you really want to know? Really? Oh, wow. Well, they had some ideas. They said they're not going to bring them back. So what happens? Well, after they thought, oh man, they're not going to listen to us. What are we going to do this time? Oh, we know. We'll hack the program and we'll bring everything back. They said, great idea, but don't you think they'll probably ruin it more? She's like, oh, come on. Let's just try it for once. She says, okay. So, they start getting into the computers. They sneak into the offices and start changing things. When they don't even know it, they would even force them to have their computer, and they act like they're a cop because they say, get on the ground. And they take their computers and try to do them. Well, once they find out what happened, they saw what happened. They knew what was going on with these two when they thought of this idea. They said, wait, how did we get these themes back? I know there must be something that must be going around this place. I wonder what this must be. He said, hey, Karina Moran. Hey, all you staff, I need you to check in and see what goes with these girls. They could probably be causing more trouble. Okay. Well, they check up over them, and guess what? They actually did it. Ha! And guess what? They got busted. As usual. So, as they got home, they wanted to see if there was still stuff was back on the website. So, well, were they? Nope. They were off. And I thought, oh no. We must do something to get them again. That's it. Guys, we're going to need you to get people. We're going to need to bring them the most craziest things ever. And we will save the GoAnimate universe once and for all. Oh boy. How will this come out? We don't know. They said, well, I don't want to travel that slogan. I know jets are fast, as Joyce said in the background. Well, what should we do? Well, why not build a teleporter? That might make us go really fast. Whoa, Ashley said. That's a great idea. How come we didn't think of that in the first place? We could have gotten the teleporter before we left. Some teleporter. Wow. And some teleporters, they could be good teleporting builders. So they went on and built their teleporting machine because they think it would be more faster for them. Well, turns out it was fast. The teleporter zooms them right to the headquarters. And then, as you know, the staff are back saying, "You again? Get out or I'll call security." They said, "No!" They said, "How dare you take the dirt, mister? You know that we all like them. Do you want me to summon the scary logos?" They said, "What are you talking about?" And the two girls said, "You really want to know what I'm talking about? You seriously want to know what I'm talking about? I don't think you even know what I'm talking about. So I think you could just better bring it back." And then, before they did anything else, they said, "Oh yeah, and you also removed Eric. So you get to put that back in there too." They said, "Don't even remind me, we knew what you did. And we're not happy with you." They said, "Will you bring them back or will we attempt to send scary logos after you?" They said they wouldn't do it. So, what goes on? They say, "Okay, you asked for it. Guys, Army of Fox logos and other scary stuff. Come over and take the staff's soul. Owie, oxen free. Army of Fox logos, come to us." Whoa! It almost felt like the building collapsed. "That's right," they said. "We're the Army of Fox logos. And you better do it as they say, or else we'll grip all over you." "Not so fast. We can't have those with compatibility with HTML5. "I don't give a darn. Either you do that or I'll crap all over you." "No," we said. "We won't. Did we just say that?" They said, "Okay, you asked for it." And then he crapped all over him. Then they decided they had enough of them. Then they said, "You know what? If you don't, we're gonna attach you to the balloons and we're gonna take you up in the sky." They said no. And then they said everyone except Alvin hung. Alvin stays, but the rest of his crew must go until they do that. And then, so they got to the store where they said a bunch of balloons, and they got them all down. And there was time when they had to try their best to get those people up into the space because they tried to get them up there. And as they said, "How are you going to get all of us up there? We have about 100 and some people, and you can't get us all there." He said, both of them, Joyce and Jane, said, "That's it. You just can't wait till we get you guys up there, can't you? I'm gonna come back there, and you better be prepared. And if not, then it's game over for you." So they went out to get to the store, And there was a staff member who said, "I still kind of feel scared of that Fox logo, that Army of Fox logo, whatever that thing's called." That's what they said. Joyce and Jane go to the store to try to get 1,754,754 million balloons. They say this is to save them forever. Now, as they come up to the office, and then they take them who was responsible for removing such great features and some great things that everyone, even other ones, enjoy. When most of them found out about this, they were happy. And the best thing is, Joyce and Jane did a YouTube live stream. Yep, they brought their laptop or whatever they wanted and started live streaming the event so the people who want to get rid of them, well, if they're not that bad, but they wish they could bring them back, well, hey, now they know what they're doing. And they had it all on live stream. Then, they had one of them come and bring them back. Then, so, after that, they changed them back to where they had it. They had it changed back to those soundtracks and those awesome little themes and just about everything you could imagine. And that returned to the golden goanimate days. Yes, the golden days. Huh. And then they said, well, and when Alvin looked at the staff flying in the balloons, they looked at the guys and said, "No, I don't need you guys to go because I need you guys to stay so we can work together." And no. And as they went up in the air, then Alvin was mad at them because he took one of his workers up into space. Now said, "Hey, did you think you should do that? Of course you should not do that." They said, "Well, you just kind of deserved it. We kind of had to do that because your staff didn't know what they did." And then, all of a sudden, they try. Oh yes, the staff try to escape. But what do they know? They're tied, so they can't escape. So and one of them said, "Well, at least we brought our parachute with them, huh?" And one of the people from the staff said, "Well, we got our parachute. So, take that." And if Joyce and Jane heard that they had parachutes, they wouldn't be happy with that. Because they would fear they'd probably come back and mess with everything. Whilst the kids come back, the CEO of goanimate, just him in the office, wondering, I wonder how my staff workers are doing up there. I should probably see using my tracking devices. I'm going to buy a machine that can have a tracking device so I can track what's in the air right now. Like a military. So, what to expect? Alvin had to try to get a smart GPS that will track the balloons or anything in the sky. Why? Because I want to look for them. But what Alvin did not know is that the staff didn't have any camera with them. Alvin said, "Oh man, now where are we gonna find them? Unless we have to hire new ones." He says, "Oh, that sucks. Man, can't believe these two kids would do that." I guess they try to have an adventure sometimes, don't they? And that's what she said. Whilst Alvin tries to sleep at night, he had a weird dream that the Oz film logos came and took his soul, along with the Army of Fox logos. Oh boy, did he have a nightmare? They said, "Oh my gosh." Boy, did he think that was right. Up in space, the staff of goanimate fly all the way up there at 2,500 feet. With most of them like, "Oh boy, at least we're safe here since we have our parachutes now." And then, once that happened, that was interesting. Because as we know this, we think that, hey, I think we'll be fine. But then, they also flew towards the Miami, Florida, getting close to leaving U.S. Then, when the goanimate staff workers look down from the sky, they can see that they flew over the Cape Canaveral Air Force. Yep, they flew right over Florida, right where the International Space Station is. And then, at about 15,982 feet, most balloons start to deflate. And when those balloons deflated, they fell, get this, an estimated 1,754 million miles an hour, while the staff tried to carry the parachute. At first it was a jerky fall, but at the middle of it, it was crazy. Well, of course, some part of the parachute fell off, which caused most of the staff to get crazy and fall really fast because there was something wrong with the parachute, either not buckled done right or something on. Of course, they was in 555 feet by 7 o'clock, and by 10 o'clock, they were at 15,000 some feet. So they had no idea what they were seeing because it was all pitch black. Well, until some of the staff, like Victor No and Mark Deaton, had their phones out, so they had a flashlight, so they could see what's going on in the sky while they're heading down, and they tried to also have safety during the flight. As the flight as conditioned, they finally land somewhere. Oh wow. Somewhere that might be. Then there were them all falling. The balloon fell, and it was a crazy fall, with the staff falling slowly, but the balloons falling as fast as supersonic speed. Wow, how could that be? Then, at about 2:30 in the morning, that's right, they had to make sure they were up at 2:30 in the morning, and they thought, man, they ruined our night for us. Daggone it. Well, they finally landed but they had to get a look where they landed. They had to find out where they landed. And oh boy, they even landed outside of the US. They landed by Europe, and they landed out towards Mexico. They flew to the Turks, all kinds of places. They were crazy. It was an interesting flight. They said, oh no, we're far away from our headquarters. We're not even in the US. How are we supposed to get back? As many of the users who quit GoAnimate decided to go back on the site since they found the big update that were exciting news. As they found out that Alvin and the staff were being banished. Except for the CEO, because he didn't really have much in that process. Basically, the staff was because they decided all that stuff. And, as well, they said, well, the good thing that matters is we are still alive. Even though it's cool. And the staff also landed in the beach. Yep, that's right. The staff of GoAnimate, every person, a whole 100 staff, who knows how many staff they are, but pretty much most of them landed in the beach. Well, no one was there. So I had them all over there to themselves. And they said, and then it gets crazy. Yep. Well, they didn't know what to do. They had to stay there, or how to try to stay there, or try to stay alive by floating in the back, which was probably hard to do. Without the fact that they had to try to make sure their stuff weren't all wet, their phones and everything. They had to make sure they were all great. And with everyone happy that they can now use their favorite stuff, the staff finally found a way to travel back from Turks, back from outside of the US, back to California somehow. But it wasn't one time. It was an interesting trip they had. Oh wow. And that's my story. Like,
view 15 at 15
trip. The trip will be always thinking about. Wow, they said. Well, it appears as they have one of the people trying to manage their own airplane because they built one out somehow. It's because they're smarter than that. So they built one and they had to travel all the way down there. Unfortunately, at about 29,000 feet, the light was red. So, well, one of the pieces, Mark was one of the staff, saying, hey, why is the thing red? And they said, oh guys, we better fly out of this, we better try to fly out of this plane and grab our parachutes because this thing's run out of fuel. So they try to open the windows and try to bust out of the plane and just let the plane crash itself. The plane crashed into the power lines, breaking it. Wow. Interesting. As that was crazy, the staff had to try to figure out where they were at. and they were there slowly but surely. And then all of a sudden, when they traveled back to their headquarters, when Alvin was proud that they were still back, the airplane that they had was heading straight for the headquarters, and the staff had to run, and the darn airplane decided to crash into the roof, into everywhere, and destroyed the place, whilst having to rebuild the place. That's the crazy story about how they stopped the staff. If you like this story, make sure to subscribe for more awesome stories. This is Joyce and Jane signing off.